Hey guys, Russ Tyndall here with BlueLine CNC. Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about dust collection and the need for it in your workshop, especially if you're working in a CNC environment where we have a lot of moving machinery, automated machinery, computers. We've now brought computers into the workshop. So we're going to want to keep our workshops as clean as possible and mitigate as much of that dust as possible. So in this video, I'm going to go over what I do in my workshop and what works for me. And it's not the end-all, get-all to dust collection, but at least it exposes you to some key concepts and some of the ideas and things that I'm using in my shop. And if you can walk away from this video with a little more knowledge and be able to maybe perhaps take some of my ideas and bring them into your workshop to keep your workshop a little cleaner, then I've accomplished my mission. But with that said, everything that I will talk about, I will put link down in the description below. So if you want to get a hold of some of these items and bring them into your shop again, like I say, you don't have to write anything down. It's all in the description. So with that said, let's go take a peek and I will show you the systems that I have in place that help keep my shop clean. Okay guys, so essentially this is the heartbeat of the dust collection system in my shop. And this is the Laguna CFlux 1. It's their entry-level dust collection system. It is in their CFlux lineup, like I say. They have other levels which are more geared towards professional shops and production shops. There's the PFlux series and there's a few others that are even higher than that. And I've seen some dust collection machines upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. As I recall, this unit ran around $1,500 at the time of purchase, if I remember correctly. It may have been a little bit less than that. I absolutely love it. Does a great job. I think it's a let me look at the side here, horsepower, 1.5 horsepower motor. It runs on 110 30 amps, so if you've got 110 service, which everybody pretty much does, it's going to work fine. You're not going to have to wire your shop for 220 for this machine. Over the filter, it does have a hand crank right here, and that allows you to basically clear the baffles inside of the filter of any sawdust that might be accumulating, and that allows that sawdust to drop down to keep these baffles clear. They do have an option where you can purchase a little motor that sits on top of here instead of the hand crank. So you don't have to periodically manually crank it yourself. It does it automatically for you. Going on down, we have the power button, which is on and off, and a fuse reset for a circuit breaker. But basically the on and off button is also wired to a RF remote control that they provide for you. So I can be across the shop, and if I need to turn the system on, I just press the on button and this machine will fire up. So it's just a matter of making sure that the dust collection is on at the source. Where I'm working, turn the remote on, and boom, we're good to go, ready to rock and roll. So yeah, and then over here on the this side of the machine, we have the cyclone portion, which brings in the dust and the chips from the machine, or from the machines that we're working on, and that stuff will rotate and then eventually drop down into the collection bin, which is down here. You can see there's a plastic bag which basically collects all that stuff. Then when there's a little window on the side of that collection bin as well, so you can monitor your dust level, and then when it's time to change your bag, you just simply pull that lever on the bottom and that whole bin will slide out, and you can bag up your sawdust, take it out, and you're good to go. So here you can see a couple of 4-inch flex lines going into the cyclone portion of the Laguna CFlux series dust collector. And as you can tell, one of these lines, the one in the foreground in particular, goes down to a single blast gate of this manifold system. I've labeled it auxiliary. And the other one comes down to a Y connector and then splits off and goes down to 2 separate blast gates, which I've labeled Avid and Axiom, the manufacturers of my respective CNC machines. So if I want to turn them on or off, I can just come here to the source where all my blast gates are located, and independently turn off and turn on them as I need them. So like right now it's set up. If I wanted the Axiom on, I would leave it in that position. If I wanted to turn the Avid machine on and shut the Axiom off, I would just simply close this blast gate and open up the Avid. So with the routing of the flex line coming out of the bottoms of these blast gates that go to the machines, here on the Axiom you can see it basically going right up to the base collection point for the machine itself. My machine came with a collection arm which more or less comes over the top of the machine and runs down over to the top of the gantry and hooks up to the spindle. Right now the spindle has a laser on it, so you don't see the actual dust collection system hooked up to this to the router. Like I say, it's the laser right now at the moment, but the dust collection portion is hanging right there. I just have it hanging over the top of the dust arm right now at the moment. So that's the Axiom machine, how it's configured. Now the Avid's a little different. It's along the base of the wall down by the baseboards. You can see the flex line coming up and hooking up to a pipe. This is just some pipe that I obtained in the big box store with a fitting, a 4-inch fitting that will accept the flex line. And I just use some duct tape to hold it in place and make it airtight. And that section of pipe runs along the back of the CNC machines, hits a 90-degree elbow, turns upward where it stubs out about 4 feet off the ground. And then my flex line, you can see it running down and attaching to that. It's behind the TV, or the monitor I should say. It goes up and hits some J-hooks along the ceiling track and comes back down over the top of the CNC machine's gantry through a dust collection hose guide, and then down to the actual dust collection brush right there at the spindle itself. And the auxiliary line right now is hooked up to a 25 or 27 feet of flex line. And right now I have it hooked up to a port which is on the end of my outfeed table to my table saw. So if I'm running the table saw, this system will suck up all the chips from there. And with this system, I can take this and hook up a hand dust vac, which works really well for cleaning up small spots in the shop. Or I can also hook it up, and you can see it hanging on the wall there between the dust collector and the air compressor, the vac attachment for sweeping up messes on the floor, and that works really, really good as well. So in addition to my dust collection system that aggressively works at the machine source, I also have some passive dust collection measures, I think you would say. It's the best way to label them, passive. They work in the background and they assist the dust collection system as well. And that is this filter system right here, which basically is pulling in air from the outside and filtering it and exhausting clean air. And I modeled this cabinet. It's a home-built unit. I modeled it after something that Jay Bates did, and props to him. If you want to look at his plans and how he built it and get the dimensions, shoot over to his channel. But basically, the only difference between his unit and my unit is his unit is a 1-speed unit, mine is a 2-speed unit. And he used a 4-sided cabinet with 4 filters, and I elected to go with 2 filters. But other than that, they're really close. The dimensions, like I say, are almost spot on. It uses a motor that I've mounted down inside the cabinet, and like I say, it pulls in dirty air and it exhausts clean air through the exhaust port, which you can see there at the bottom of the cabinet. Lastly, what I use in the shop to assist in keeping the air clean is a Jet AFS 1000. I've got it mounted in the center of my shop, and it's suspended from the ceiling, and that passively pulls in dirty air and exhausts clean air. And I can set that on a timer or have it running when I'm in here, and that does a great job of assisting in keeping the environment clean as well. Well guys, I hope this video has been helpful to you in at least pointing you in the right direction for some ideas for a dust collection system for yourself. Let's see, what else can I add to it? Really not too much. I think we've kind of covered everything in the video itself. The only thing I can tell you is if you don't have, like I said in the beginning, if you don't have a dust collection system, consider it. It will be a game changer for you as it was for me. So with that said, if you like my videos and you like the content that I produce pertaining to CNC and CNC related stuff, please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. Hit the like button to this video and press the bell button next to the subscribe button to be notified when I post new content. With that said, guys, keep the chips flying, be safe in your workshops, and use your eye protection and your hearing protection, and we'll see you on the next go-round.